Something happened that really made me raise an eyebrow, and probably you have heard it as well. We're going to get into the big book of Bull. I want to record this in this in this folder, in this book, in this journal, because we need it. We need to keep track of things, and look at how much we've spent so far, and I think we're going to continue. So today, wonderful Brian Etten reported that an assessor, now it can be a property assessor, it can be a tax assessor, it can be a county assessor, but one of the county assessors, and I'm just going to say for that, we're going to save this in case we want to do some other little writing, but a Pima County assessor, her name is Suzanne, I don't know how to spell it, Drewby. I'm sorry, Suzanne, if you see this, if it's not spelled correctly, but we're doing our best. Got a phone call from the Pima County Sheriff, and that is, you know who he is, Nano, and basically reamed her a new one. Said that she should not have given the evidence that she did to the feds. Said she should not have cooperated. Now, first of all, if you're there and you know that this is a missing persons case and the feds come to you and they ask something, what are you supposed to do? Especially if you have some evidence that the FBI wants. Why would you hold that back? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but could that be something that might be crossing a line a little bit? Could it be? Could it be an obstruction of justice if the Guthrie family felt so inclined to do? Maybe they need to be looking at this dude here. I'm just not, let's put down the date. And you know what? This is themes like this get me riled. Now, oh, I almost put down 2006. Wouldn't that be nice? Are we living in a parallel universe? Here's what we've got going. And that is Shaggy. Welcome, Shaggy. Here's what we have going. And I wonder, because I keep hearing some things about, could be family, could be anybody. But you see, here's something. We're going to do it with this. All right? Sorry about the circle. It's not really much of a circle. But we're going to put a little something here at the top. Okay? Now, many of you may know what this is. That's a compass. The majority of us have what we call an internal moral compass. And I wonder about some of these people that are involved with this case. But mostly, I'm wondering. Here's what I'm wondering. Well, first of all, I'm loving these pens that one of you gave me because they glitter. You probably can't see it, but I love them. Secondly, I love the highlighters. One of you gave me these too, and I'm going to show them to you. This is what they are. I know you always love to see them. I'm going to show you. This is what they are. Mr. Pen. And that came with it. I love these. I'll tell you why I love them. Because I like to use, as you know, highlighters and all kinds of little artistry goodies, right? And look at how I made that And the one good thing is it doesn't bleed on the other side. I love that ability. And they're kind of like a crayon, and you twist them up just like this. All right. Enough of that. No, I'm not sponsored. I'm very concerned at this time because Mrs. Drewby was doing the right thing. She has a moral compass. I'm sure some of the deputies are doing the right thing. They have a moral compass. You, my darling, if you're watching this, you have a moral compass. There are many things that are going on right here. And every day I get more and more sus. And I'm sorry I'm bringing this to you a little later. I had internet issues today. Don't tell us that. But now we're going to read the cards. I'm going to make this a little shorter because we have to keep the pace up, okay? We got to keep the pace up while I'm bringing out the cards. Put your sweet DNA on that like button and give that subscribe a bump. And by the way, because of all of you, True Oracle now has made the goal of 20,000 subscribers. I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of this community. We're making a difference here. I know we are. Hold on, I'm getting the cards out. We're going to look into a few things today. Sorry, I hit the camera. And I'm not happy. You've not seen this deck. It's been a while. You've not seen this. I know you have not. So we're going to put this to the side. We're going to give the fire element Cartomancy deck a rest for a few days. He's been pulling double duty. And I'm thankful for that. And so is Shaggy. It's quiet all day. Yeah, see? Quiet all day. And here we are. Welcome to the House of Zelda. Cats, kids, purring. And here we are. We're stuck in the middle with you, right? All right, here we are. And sorry for all of those who have cats, but we are concentrating the energy on the sheriff. Why was he so torched? And I've done a little bit more digging. I'm going to tell you, she was very upset that this happened. He berated her. He tore her to literal, I'm going to say, he just gave her the real business. I mean, not a good look. If you want to call somebody, Sheriff, come on. Come on. I'm a big girl. All right. Caution going forward. He made a very bad choice. Because you see, he's got an investigation going on right now. And doing something like this, I mean, he does not look very pretty in the eyes of the county that really is looking at things. And, you know, there's a lot of people calling for his resignation. There's caution tape, and he'd better take that caution going forward. He'd better heed the advice, I believe, of somebody else. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm a tarot forensic profiler and a cat. Yeah. Bad choices is an understatement. And he's going to continue, my darlings. I'm just going to tell you, he will continue to make some very bad choices. Keeping you a secret. Now, it's not me, of course, and it's not you, but here's what I believe. Some of these things that I believe Mrs. Dewberry handed over, he did not want the FBI to see. And I'm wondering if he's trying to be a hero and come up with this on his own. But I question that because I do not believe that he is heading up an investigation for Mrs. Nancy Guthrie. I believe that it's now every man for himself. I want to just say this. I think many have lost their way. This is about Nancy Guthrie being taken from her home, however she was taken. She's not there. She didn't walk off on her own. She was taken. She was taken on her own. She was taken, but not on her own. And I think many are forgetting that. They get so absorbed with who is this guy and what is this and what is that. And I think that all of that is good to a certain degree. But I think if they concentrate on Nancy Guthrie and maybe do the social network analysis and start farming this out, they're going to see who did what, where, when, and how, and it may lead them closer to someone that at this point, I don't believe they're going to come up with anyone because they've lost their sight. And the sight should be Nancy Guthrie. This is my opinion. That's all it is. I feel sorry for the family, regardless. And I keep thinking of the kids. And those kids are the ones of Annie and Tommaso, or the child. And then there's other friends. When I say kids, I'm encompassing even the friends and cousins and those people who have been around. Think of the schools. We have bullies on here. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having that type of situation that you have to go to? I wouldn't want to go to school. I would just want to be homeschooled at this point. It's heartbreaking. Okay. Now you're going to love these. I haven't shown them to you. Now, I like my cards. I do. These are a little hard for me to get used to, but I'm going to use them tonight. Oh, it's a Cartomancy deck. Look at that. We've got the 5 of diamonds. We've got, oh, I want to put them right side up because they are pretty. The Queen of Spades. We're going to do that. The 9 of diamonds. And we have the King of Spades. Now, I want you to see, is there a pattern? Because, yeah, these are shuffled. I mean, you can see. Look at this. They're pretty, aren't they? But we have a couple here. We have a couple. And this is a little unnerving to me to see this couple here come out like this. Now, this is interesting because I still feel that this is the couple that was involved with Nancy's kidnapping. But this is going to interest you a lot. I want to show you these cards. I'm going to turn this because I like to see the diamond. See, that's a pretty card, isn't it? The 5 of diamonds is a house move. It is the practicality of a move. Now, the diamonds in Cartomancy for me, and if you have your Cartomancy books, you'll find out that those are air signs and they are all about communication and they are all about contact, some type of contact, email, text, conversation. It can even be our thoughts. And that's what puts me over to this card, because this card right here is the thought of being more practical, but it's a thought of expansion and wanting more, expanding and wanting more. And I believe that's where this couple is. Now, here's the funny part. These two are never going to look at each other. They are going to look apart. These two cards can and are, in many respects, very grounding, but this chick can be extremely, how do I want to say, mean? Okay, I can say it that way. And so can he. This just amazes me. Now, this is all about new interests, feeling that they made progress, and maybe taking a short trip. I want to ask, before Nancy's abduction, who close to her was taking short trips? Let me know in the comments. But this is why it's interesting, because see, there's two different mindsets here. For this fellow, he's looking at this card. So this is all about needing something more to do. This is all about this new interest and maybe a short trip, but making progress at work and sometimes not making enough progress. It could be because of lack of communication or too much communication. But this gal, she's looking at this because she wants to have a house move. It's all about this expanding into more. She's thinking about a house move. He's thinking in this direction. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? That these two come out. It doesn't matter. But look at this pattern. 2 diamonds, 2 spades. Look at this. Oh, I'd had a marker in this card. Let me take it out. See, that happens sometimes. I was marking some things and I didn't take the marker out. Well, you know what? If it comes out, it comes out. There we are. It came out. What is it? Oh, well, it's this type of market. Market or marker. Bicycle cards. Thank you very much. Sometimes I put markers in them when I'm doing a little research. That's what that's all about. And I do research all the time. This is my gig. All right, so what are we doing now? I want to ask, where does the sheriff sit in this position? Where is he? What's going on with him? Where does he sit in this scenario? Oh. Now look at the clubs for him. Usually I start here. I'm going to start over here and go this way. Since we have this couple looking in this direction, you want to follow that lead of the energy. So here we are, the cats. Amazing. We have cats showing up all over the place. But this is all about strife and can be all about even a personal injury. Nancy was injured. How do I say that? Well, what was on her front entryway? But this is a card of it can be a self-sacrifice in some way. And the reason I say that is because sometimes when you're talking about perps, they really get a little on the upset side about the woe is me thing. They themselves become a victim. But here's where it gets really interesting. This 8 of Hearts is all about suspicion. And this person already knows that 98%, probably more, are suspicious of a certain person. I'm not going to mention them. Y'all know. But certain people are thinking of this. He wants He wants someone to accept him at face value, to accept him the way he is, to accept what he has to say, and that's it. And we don't have proof. We don't know. Will we ever? We've got a sheriff who seems as though he's blanketing people. What do you do with a blanket when you get cold? Yeah. And so this is not only suspicion, but he understands people are looking. You're looking for problems here. Now, this is also interesting as well. This is a money card, my darlings. Definitely money. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because remember, we're going to follow that flow. And remember, we still have the cards underneath that give us the foundation of the investigation. You know, I always start out asking about a certain thing and then it goes into another. And this is the energy pushing us into the direction of saying, yeah, okay, I recognize you for asking about one person, but you really need to talk about this. So that's what I'm doing. This card, and look, we've got double nines. 9 and 9 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. That's 27. 2 and 7 is 9. You see how that's going. And that's a little numerology. Remember this card underneath, keeping you a secret. So he's keeping secrets. The sheriff is keeping secrets. So is this guy. It's evident somebody gave away his secrets. Now he's not a happy camper. This card is all about earned wealth. The 9 of clubs is not only not about earned wealth, it's believing that you deserve that wealth, that you must have it yourself, and that you feel that you know what you're worth. This park, depending upon the situation of the cards and way they're laying, this park can seriously mean that you've got false friends. That sometimes you feel people really care about you, but you've got some false friends. And I think that there's a concern there with this one, because where's the third person? I don't think he's around for whatever reason. But this is interesting because this card lays on Little Miss can't do wrong, who made some very bad choices. And this is all about regret, disagreements, but this is all about money worries. Who is having money worries? And bottom line, being cautioned not to overspend. Who could that be? It's amazing to me. It's the card of looking for monetary help, money help, or whatever. And it's also the card of feeling like someone else has to help you. This lightning card, disagreements, as we said, disagreeable. But this one is kind of funny, kind of, in a sort of macabre crime scene sort of way. It lays on the caution. Now, I'm not making light of anything, everybody, okay? It lays on the caution card. And this Ace of Hearts is a fall timing card, but it's also very emotional. That is the number 11 there. Do you see that? It's a number 11. That number 11 is all about building the foundation. So bottom line, being cautious, building the foundation, all kinds of different things happening. And there's a fox. And he's nearby. And you know what that means? Someone who feels that he's slick. You can't outfox a fox, right? I mean, I can tell you all kinds of little jokes. A fox smells his own hole. Yeah, okay. I think there's all kinds of things. But I think what we're talking about now is someone who feels that he's sly as a fox. And to distrust him. That sometimes acquaintances seek to betray. And sometimes the more distance that you put between people, the better off you are. And obviously, he doesn't have a lot of distance between him and others, and especially her. Now, no, I don't think that he and this chick are having anything going on. But look, I think that this guy likes to feel that he's a real ladies' man. And honestly, I just think he's... check yourself. That's a message not for me or for you. That is a message to whomever is holding evidence. Go back and make sure that you've got the right things. I can tell you right now, talking to the county assessor, I'm going to call her that, Mrs. Drewby, Mrs. Drewby, Suzanne Drewby. Talking to her, talking down to her in the manner, in the fashion that he did, does not score points. I'd hate to be his wife right now. Well, I hate to be his wife at any time, but especially right now. Look at this. Now, you know, I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I always do. Because I always feel in card readings, and that's why sometimes I don't read the reverse, because most have enough trouble without getting a card in reverse and then going, oh, it was bad, but now it's worse. For me, when you come to get a card reading, or when anyone does, and I was taught that way by my grandmother, you're not supposed to sit there and tell them, oh yeah, it's bad. This person's doing this and this person's doing that, and oh brother, you know, you better stay inside, Henny Penny, because it's going to get worse. When someone comes to me for a card reading, I've always felt the universe taps me on the shoulder and says, okay, what can you talk about that's positive to help this person overcome what they're currently going through? Look for solutions. That's what card reading is for me. Looking for solutions. And we do. And this card comes up. It's the 10 of clubs. And you know what that card is? That card is all about a lump sum of money, but it's also about government money. And when this card sitting here says, check yourself, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just going to say maybe the county assessor should be assessing some funds. We don't know. That's a question. I don't know. I'm asking, could it possibly be? Because I think this goes beyond Mrs. Nancy Guthrie. And it goes beyond. And does it go beyond someone just being incapable? Or is it someone who holds a grudge and at anyone's expense, he will make sure that whomever pays? Could it possibly be, my friends? Oh. Oh boy. Even I get tickled at myself. Look at the Ace of Spades, and we're going to talk about that one. Oh, you guys are going to love what I've got to share with you. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share with you because many of you are so nice and lovely and kind. And you like the Cartomancy. I love Cartomancy. It tells you so much, but I'm going to go in a little direction. And I'm going to go and I'm going to show you a particular card deck that ain't nice. And you can find out a lot. I'm going to show that to you soon. This Ace of Spades is a winter timing card. Nancy went missing in the winter. But these are swords. There's a specific word for this, and I can't say it here because it sounds like something, but I'm going to share that with you right here. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. That's the name of the type of sword. This is a warning. This is a warning against threats from another person. Now, I don't have to take that warning. I think that now that Mrs. Drewby has been vocal about this sort of thing, could it be? Basically says it will come out sooner or later, and there will be more coming out, my darlings. 18 days from today's date, which is the 14th. 18 days. Gosh, we're almost into June, my dear friends. This is all about assaults. And I'm going to tell you what about this Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades is not a nice card. It's loss, legal problems, depression, and death. Now, I'm not saying anybody's going to die. It's the same as the death card from the tarot deck. It's where the death card came from. But it, again, is a winter timing card. And I believe that coming from the winter, this has got multiple layers. But what crime scene and what court case really does not, until you get right down to the rubber meets the road. I'm just going to say there's some things to look into, because you know, when people act that way, when they get so torched about something that they should have done, which is the right thing to do, it tells a lot about what? Well, let me get this. Let me show you what it tells a lot about. It tells a lot about their moral compass, which is the right way. I believe this person, if he keeps it up, is going to still continue to go south. And I don't mean in a direction, I mean career-wise, everything else. But a question for you, my darlings, is this. If you were this family and this woman was your mother, how long would it be before you would step in and say, oh, no, pal, look, hello. Our taxes pay your salary. You are going to hand this over to the feds, and you're going to do it yesterday. This is my mama. I'm coming down there. I'm going to be scanning the continent for her, and it doesn't make any difference what you say. Because there is always an election. There's always a review board, and you have to answer to somebody, pal. And I think his behavior now starts warranting going a little further. You know me, I don't say things, but I'm asking the questions. I'm not accusing, I'm saying I want to know. Because everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But when cards like this come up, there's two people that are left behind that he seems to just not want to be very helpful. I know the feds just want to throw their hands up in the air, but they're doing the best they can. And I feel very bad for these deputies that are working so hard. Their hands are tied, my friends. I can almost hear him saying, don't spend a lot of time. There are other crimes in that county. I'd like to speak to one of them. I wish, if you're watching this, if you want to come on to my show, you're welcome to. We'll keep you anonymous. You can tell us what you really think. Will that happen? I don't think so, but the offer's there. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye for now.